If you are a book lover or you know someone who is, I have the cutest little bookmark project for you today. And I'm guessing you already have the yarn in your stash. So come on over, let's whip this up, and you can keep it for yourself or give it to a friend. This angel bookmark pattern was created by Beverly Mewhorter, and it's a really fun project. So let's get started. The first thing we will do is create a slip knot and place it onto our crochet hook. Then we will chain 13. Next, we will single crochet into the second chain from the hook and across. So at the end of row 1, we will have 12 single crochet stitches. For row 2, we will turn our work, chain 1, and single crochet those same 12 stitches. This is all we have to do for rows 2 through 44. So 2 through 44 are quite relaxing. It's just rows of single crochet. So I'm just crocheting a simple sample today. I'm not going to be doing all 44 rows, but just to give you an idea of what the instructions are and how to follow them. So after you've crocheted rows 2 through 44, then on row 45, we will be completing the trim around the edges. Now to do this, your piece will be a rectangle. So let me finish this row and we're going to talk about it on this little sample. Now this is only a few rows, but as you build yours up to be 44 rows, you'll have quite a long rectangle. It'll be a really cute bookmark. But in order to crochet around the edges, when we go around these corners, we don't want it to pucker. And so to prevent that, whenever you get to the corners, when you're crocheting around all the edges, simply single crochet more stitches, 3 stitches in that corner stitch. Once you get all the way around, you'll slip stitch to the first stitch and then fasten off, and the body of your bookmark is done. Now notice that the bookmark has a strand that comes out the top of it. That strand is simply a slip stitch join, and then you're going to chain out. And then it has a tassel, and the tassel is what I want to cover next. So the instructions for the tassel is to cut 20 strands approximately 3 inches long. Now instead of taking your strand and a ruler and measuring out every single time and cutting, let's talk about how to make tassel strands faster. I found this box in my office. Around this box is approximately 3 inches. So I'll take my strand and I will wrap it around this box 20 times. After I wrapped it 20 times, I'll take my craft scissors and cut once. This is what's really nice about this. I only have to cut once and I've got 20 strands. Ta-da! And I always want to make sure that I got 20, so I usually cut this last one, and if it's an extra, that's okay. So now here's 20 strands to make our tassel. The next step in making our tassel is tying a center strand that will join these together. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll take a center strand of yarn and place my tassels on top, and then I'm going to tie this together. I use a little bit longer ends because I'm going to hide these ends into the tassel and make it look like it's part of it. So simply tie a double knot right in the center. And it's okay if you're slightly off because you can always trim it to match later. I'm just kind of eyeballing this here. So now that they're joined by the strand in the center, I can go ahead and cut that strand, and I cut it to match the rest of the strands. Now take your tassel and fold it in half together with the top tie at center. So I'm just going to fold these down over that top tie, and now they're matching. After folding this in half around the tie we just did at the center, I'm going to take another strand of yarn and I'm going to tie it around this top. That's what helps the tassel hang down and keeping all these strands together. I like to kind of move my strands around a little bit before I pull it tight, making sure everything's right where I want it. And then I'm going to pull that strand tight. And then I have these other new ends that we're going to go ahead and hide. If you take a crochet hook up through the center, I'm going to grab these strands with my crochet hook and pull them down. It kind of shifts that knot and hides them into that tassel a little bit better. And then what you're going to want to do is cut all these strands to be even. Let's go ahead and take off a little off the bottom. This is where I like to pretend that I'm a hairstylist. I won't ever be a hairstylist, but it's fun for a minute to pretend that I could trim something straight. I just can't do any fancy cuts. So here we are. This is a cute little tassel, and I can kind of move this top part and pull the bottom and get it right where I want. And then I can attach this tassel to the top of the bookmark. For the head of the angel that will go on top of the bookmark, it will be worked in the round. To do this, we will simply chain 2. And then in that second chain from the hook, we will single crochet 10. After single crocheting 10, you join to that first stitch with a slip stitch, and that's the end of round 1. If you're comfortable with the magic circle, this is a great time to use it. It really can help close any gaps. If you find that you have a gap like I do, in the center, you can always use this extra strand and weave it through to pull it together. Now for round 2, chain 1, and we are going to place 2 single crochets into every single crochet stitch around for a total of 20 stitches. Once you've got round 2 done, you can go ahead and fasten off. Now the head of the angel is not complete because you'll want to make a halo, probably with a strand of gold yarn, but you can use what color you prefer. And to make that halo, we will simply chain 14, slip stitch that chain together to form a ring, and this is where our craft glue will come in handy. We're going to use just a little bit of glue on the back of the head of the angel to place that halo in place. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So just simply use a little bit of glue and tack it on the back. For the angel body and wings, so this is what's really cool, is these instructions are multi-purpose for the rest of this angel. We will be creating basically a triangle where you will increase on each row and it brings that shape out. For the wings, you'll make 2 and you'll simply be repeating rows 1 through 4 of the body of the angel. And then once you have all of your pieces, you can either sew them or glue them to the bookmark. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed this quick and easy project. And every time you open a book, you'll definitely appreciate your handcrafted bookmark. Or whoever you give it to will open up a book and always think of you as well. Jump on over to Annie's and check out all the awesome projects they have. Until next time, enjoy all of your crochet projects.